Can you hear that? That's the sound of warmth, comfort, and connection. Welcome to Cup of Cocoa and Chat, where we sip, share, and start the day with purpose, peace, and a little sweetness. I am your host, Princess, and I am so glad you're here. Theme: Mindful Monday. Episode number 16: Nurture Your Inner Light. Release date: Monday, July 28th, 2025. Weekly theme: Your light still shines. So, all of this week, Cup of Cocoa and Chat will focus on your light still shining. Our motivation focus today is to pause and reflect on what still shines within you. Reconnect with your core strength and worth. Okay? So that will be our motivation focus for today's episode. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you're tuning in, I am so glad you pressed play. Welcome to Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast, where we savor the moment, deep thinking, and listen to real conversations that stir the heart. We share and start the week with intention, warmth, and truth. I am your host, Princess. Today's episode is titled Nurture Your Inner Light. Again, this week we're leaning into a theme that I believe speaks to each of us, especially in life's noise and demands. And that theme is Your Light Still Shines. So, as we begin the week with intention, let this be our reminder. Your light still shines. No matter the past week's weight or weariness, your spirit carries a glow that is real and worthy of nurturing. Let this be the week you protect and pour back into yourself. So, let's get into it. Nurture your inner light. Even in moments of heaviness, your spirit holds something sacred, your inner light. That light may flicker, but it never goes out. Today, we reflect on how to protect and nurture it. So, we're going to start off with recognizing what dims your light. What dims your light? So, before you can nurture your inner light, you must know what's dimming it. These dimmers often show up subtly, slowly draining your energy, your joy, and your sense of self. Here are 4 common ones to reflect on. Okay? So, here are 4 common things that dim our light so that you can recognize what's dimming your light. So, number 1, fatigue, the silent fader. Fatigue, the silent fader. When your body is tired, your mind and spirit follow. Exhaustion doesn't just show up physically, it also clouds your thoughts and emotions. It's harder to feel confident, creative, or connected when you're simply running on empty. Here's a question to ask yourself. Am I pouring from a cup that hasn't been filled? Because rest is not indulgence, it's restoration. And we've talked about this on many of episodes. This is how we honor the light within by giving it space to breathe and be renewed. Okay? So number 2, negative self-talk. The internal critic. We've talked about this before. I cannot stress this enough. Your inner voice is powerful. If it consistently whispers, you're not good enough, you should be further along, or you're always messing up, that light inside starts to flicker. Now, would you speak to a loved one like that? Be honest with yourself. Would you speak to a loved one that way? Then you shouldn't speak to yourself that way either. Kindness to self is fuel for your light. Okay? So number 3, comparison, the thief of joy and light. In a world of highlight reels, it's easy to believe that everyone else is glowing while you're struggling. But comparison disconnects you from your truth. It makes you forget your unique light, your lane, and your pace. Someone else's shine does not dim yours. Someone else's shine does not dim your own. Okay? There's room for all of us to glow. There's room for all of us to glow. Now, this last dimmer. Fear. Fear, the light blocker. Fear, the light blocker. Fear dims your light by planting seeds of doubt. You start hearing those questions like, what if I fail? What if they don't accept me? What if I am not enough? Fear tricks you into shrinking, staying quiet, or playing small. But your light was never meant to be hidden. Even a trembling voice or a small step forward is still a radiant act of courage. All right? Recognizing these dimmers, excuse me, recognizing these dimmers isn't about shame. It's about awareness. Once you see what's affecting your light, you can start choosing differently. Excuse me, guys. You can start protecting your light. You can start healing your light and letting it shine freely again. So remember that. Recognizing the dimmers is not about shame. It's about awareness, okay? So now we're going to go from awareness to action. Awareness to action. Now that we've named what dims your light, let's turn toward what restores it. How can you intentionally spark your inner glow again? So let's move into a few practices that rekindle your light. Now we want to rekindle that light, okay? And we can start that with daily habits and heart checks that remind us of who we truly are and the beauty that's still burning within. Okay? Once you identify what dims your light, the next step is to intentionally nurture what keeps it glowing. Rekindling your light isn't about doing more, it's about returning to what grounds and fuels you. These practices don't have to be elaborate or time consuming, they just need to be intentional. So let's explore a few simple yet powerful ways to reconnect with your inner radiance. Breath work. How many times have we talked about breath work? Breath work anchors into the present. So it brings you forward. Sometimes the fastest way to return to yourself is through your breath. A few deep, slow inhales and exhales can shift you from chaos to calm. If you've ever been angry with yourself, with someone else, or a situation that's happening, and you take those few deep breaths, it may not clear up that anger. It may not clear up that frustration, but it definitely take you down a couple of notches. Okay? So try this. And we've talked about the box breathing technique, either here on the podcast or in my AM segments when I go live. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6 seconds or 4 seconds. And start it all over again. So it's just like an imaginary box. Each corner is a action that you're taking with your breath, and you hold it for 4 seconds and go to the next. Your breath is your reset button, and it's always with you. So that's the reset button that you always have, your breath. So breath work, trust me, it does work. Journaling is your light on the page. Journaling is the light on the page. In the mornings, when I wake up, I say my morning prayers. I read a couple of devotionals, and I journal. And I journal to get me started with my day. Okay? So putting thoughts to paper gives your emotions a safe place to land. It helps you recognize patterns. It releases weight. And it rediscovers what still brings you peace or joy, so that you can start acting on those things. Okay? Ask yourself, what do I need today? And when you ask that question, write your answer on that paper. What part of me is asking to be heard? Put it all on paper. Journaling makes space for the truth to rise. Prayer. Connection with the source. When the light feels low, go to the source. Prayer is not just about asking, it's about aligning. It's where you receive peace, clarity, and direction. Let your prayer be honest. You don't have to have the perfect words, just a willing heart. Now, stillness. Let your soul speak. Stillness. In a world that's always rushing, stillness is an act of defiance and healing. Sitting in silence without trying to fix or figure out anything can help you feel again. I often sit in silence. I turn the TV off. I put the phone down and I just sit in silence because God speaks loudest when we finally get quiet enough to listen. God speaks loudest when we finally get quiet enough to listen. Speaking truth over yourself. Verbal light. That is your verbal light when you speak truth over yourself. Words have power. When you speak life over yourself, start using words like I am worthy. I am growing. I am more than enough. Then you will begin to shape your mindset and restore your belief because you're speaking it into the atmosphere. Declare what you want to see, even if you're not there yet. Okay? Saying no, protecting your flame. Saying no is protecting your flame. Now, boundaries are not barriers. They're bridges to self-preservation. Every time you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what sustains you. It's okay to rest. It's okay to pass on something. It's okay not to explain. Saying no is sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do. Is the most spiritual thing you can do. So rest if you need to, pass if you can, and do not explain if you do not have to. Okay? So, as you practice rekindling your light, something beautiful begins to happen. Something beautiful begins to happen. You start remembering your value. Your value. You begin to realize that your worth isn't tied to what you produce, how much you give, or how perfectly you perform. Your value is rooted in your being, not your doing. Remember that. Your value is rooted in your being, not your doing. So let's talk about what it means to truly honor your worth and why it's one of the most powerful ways to keep your light burning strong. So honoring your worth is one of the most sacred ways to protect and nurture your inner light. I'm going to repeat that. Honoring your worth is one of the most sacred ways to protect and nurture your inner light. It's about remembering that you are not valuable because of what you do. You are valuable simply because of who you are. We live in a culture that often rewards hustle, overextending, and self-sacrifice. But your worth doesn't increase because you're tired, constantly available, or consistently available, or pushing yourself beyond your limits. Your light shines brightest when you live from a place of wholeness and self-respect. Now, here's how to begin reclaiming and honoring your worth. We talked about rekindling the light. Now we are going to reclaim and honor our worth because our light is rekindled. Now we're going to work on our worth. Know that you are enough right now. Right now. Not once you lose weight, not when you hit the next goal, not when life is more perfect. You are enough now, even in progress, even in pain, even when you're unsure. You are enough right now. Detach from performance based value. Your identity is not your title, your productivity, or how many people you help. You are not what you produce. You are a soul, a light, a child of God. Resting doesn't make you less worthy. Slowing down doesn't mean you're falling behind. Detach yourself from performance based value because you're not what you produced or what you produce. So you want to practice self-compassion daily. Be gentle with yourself. Honor your limits. Give yourself grace when you fall short or fell off track, because you can always start again. If you fall off the track, you can get back on. You wouldn't expect a candle to burn endlessly without wax, right? So why expect that of yourself? Set boundaries without guilt. Every yes to something that drains you without purpose chips away at your peace. You don't need to over-explain, apologize, or shrink to make others comfortable. Your boundaries honor your worth. So learn to set boundaries. It's healthy. It is healthy to set boundaries. Celebrate yourself. Small wins count. We talked about that last week. Celebrate yourself. Small wins count. Sometimes we wait to feel worthy until we achieve something big. But every moment you show up for yourself, even just by taking a deep breath, getting out of bed, saying a kind word to yourself, is a win. You don't need a big stage to shine. Shine right where you are. Okay? So now we are going to talk about daily rituals that sustain your glow. Your glow, Your glow. Your daily rituals that sustain your glow. Because you want to have those in place, right? Once you've done all the things, once you begin honoring your worth, it becomes a lifestyle. But like any fire, your light needs tending. So you got to watch it, right? Let's wrap up by exploring a few simple daily rituals that help you sustain that inner glow so you can continue to show up in the world as your fullest, your truest self. Tending to your inner light doesn't require grand gestures. It's in the quiet, the consistent choices you make each day. These rituals become sacred pauses that help you stay grounded, centered, and lit from within. All right? So we're going to start out with that morning centering moment. That's a daily practice that can help keep your light steady. Your morning centering moment. That's when you start your day, not with your to-do list, but with a few deep breaths, a scripture, an affirmation, or quiet prayer. Ask yourself, what do I need today to feel nourished? And give yourself space to receive that answer before the noise of the day begins. Another daily ritual, gratitude journaling. Write down 3 things you're thankful for. Excuse me. Big or small. It doesn't matter. Big or small. Just write down 3 things you're thankful for. And you can start this and work this into your daily routine. Gratitude will shift your focus from what's missing to what's meaningful. Even when things feel hard, there's always a light to be found when you look for it. All right, so another one, hydration and nourishment. Hydration and nourishment can be one of your daily rituals. Take care of your body as the vessel of your light. Take care of your body as the vessel of your light. Now, you should be doing this hydration and nourishment. But if you're not, take care of your body as the vessel of your light. Drink water, move with intention, feed yourself with foods that feel energizing and loving. Energizing and loving. Your body is not a machine. It's a sacred space. Treat it with care. And this is a big one for me. Sacred no screen time. Remember I said I sit in the stillness. I turn the TV off, put the phone down, and it's just quiet. Carve out time, even if it's just 15 minutes, just to disconnect from devices and reconnect with yourself. Stillness without distraction allows you to hear your own voice and feel your own heart. And it's great to be quiet because that's when you can hear what God is trying to say to you. Okay? Evening reflection. In your day with a soft review. Think about what made you smile. Ask yourself, what did you learn? And what will you let go of before sleep? And I find that that is so important because I was going through insomnia because I could not turn my brain off. I would lay in the bed in the quiet. I like it dark. And I couldn't get my mind to just slow down. So I had to put things in place to get me to that point. So when I do lay down, I'm not constantly thinking. So I had to learn this evening reflection. I had to learn that. And I just asked myself a few questions. This gentle close brings your energy back inward and prepares your light to rise again tomorrow because you don't wake up with all that noise. Our affirmation of the day: my light is sacred, steady, and strong. Even when life feels heavy, I shine within. My light is sacred, steady, and strong. Even when life feels heavy, I shine from within. So I have a call to action today, folks. Your light deserves care. Take time today to do one intentional act that nurtures your spirit, whether it's journaling, taking a slow walk, or sitting in silence with your favorite drink. Then I need you to share this episode with someone who needs a reminder that their light still shines. And follow Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast, on Spotify, YouTube. Follow me on Favorite It, where I do the AM segments on Wednesday and Friday mornings. Or Facebook. I also do the segments on YouTube, Facebook, and Favorite It. And let's glow together. Let's glow together. So, all right, beautiful people. That brings us to the end of today's episode. If today's conversation gave you something to reflect on, I want to leave you with this final thought. You don't have to be perfect to shine. You don't have to be loud to glow. To glow. Not grow, but to glow. And even if you've had a hard week, your light is not gone. It's just waiting to be tended to. So pause, breathe, nurture what's within, because your light still shines and the world needs that glow. So please share this conversation with someone who might need an encouragement today. And if you found value in this space, I'd love to have you join me again next week for more conversations that nourish the mind and soothe the soul. I will be back next Monday, August 4th. My God, it's August already. Month number 8. So I'll be back next Monday, August the 4th. Right? My first day in August with season 1, episode 17. Can you believe it? Episode 17 of Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast. So mark your calendar, pour your favorite drink, and meet me right here for more good vibes, meaningful conversations, and purpose-filled moments. And if you're in your car, put that coffee in that travel mug or that cocoa in that travel mug and join me for purpose-filled moments. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay encouraged, and as always, peace and blessings. I love you guys, and I mean it. Bye for now.